Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be making meatloaf today. It's a very simple recipe. It looks kind of intimidating here, but it's very simple. First of all, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the ingredients here and show you everything that we need. Sorry if you hear a bunch of jingling behind. It's my dog jumping around down at my feet. So, all right, what we're going to need is we're going to need a pound of ground beef. And I use a leaner ground beef because we're using a pound of ground pork, which tends to be a little fatty. So what I do is I tend to use a leaner ground beef. All right, and then what we're going to do is add about, it calls for about a half a cup of onions. But what I'm going to do here is I'm doing cooked up onions here. I'm not doing raw onions. I don't like raw onions in my meatloaf. So you can see it's kind of, they're still kind of warm. Just like that. And then I'm going to do 3 garlic cloves. Sorry, it's snowing out today, so everybody is inside. There's nobody outside. Everybody's just kind of running around in here. So we need about a half a cup of breadcrumbs. I use the Italian breadcrumbs for this. And then I need 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, not regular mustard, but Dijon mustard. And then 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Eggs. And I'll also put this recipe down below just so you have a visual of all the ingredients. So we have 1 tablespoon of fresh dill. Now I prefer fresh dill, but I couldn't find it. So I bought this. I don't know if you can kind of see it here. But I love this stuff when I can't find fresh. And then 1 tablespoon of fresh parsley. And that's it for this. And then a little bit of salt and pepper. And a little bit of, here's salt. I don't put a whole lot in there because pork kind of tends to be a little salty. And then I got everything in there, and I'm going to just mix it up with my hands. This is a real simple meatloaf recipe. It's a family favorite. Now I'm going to put it in a pan. You can put it in a pan of your choice, but today is Valentine's Day. So I'm going to be putting some of it in these little heart-shaped pans for the kids. And make like little heart-shaped meatloaves for the kids. And then I usually serve this with mashed potatoes and some gravy and green beans. Good old southern, good old comfort food. See, that's what it looks like when it's all mixed up together. You want to get in there really good with your hands and mix it up because you want everything to be incorporated really nicely. And I usually make this ahead of time, maybe about an hour before I put it in the oven. You don't have to. I do because I just want all the flavors to get into the meat really well and everything. So I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so I'm going to fill up 4 of these little heart pans for the kids. And I'm not going to put a whole lot in there because they don't really like eat a lot of, they don't really eat a big piece. And like I said, I'm just making these for the kids, just kind of make it fun for them because it's Valentine's Day. So, and I usually fill it up about maybe half full, maybe a little bit fuller. I have one grandson that can eat me out of house and home if I'm not careful. And then I have another grandson that eats like a bird. Right, Connor?
Yeah.
But my grandson that eats like a bird is really good about eating and testing things. To see if he likes it again. He's the one that doesn't like potatoes. He doesn't like potatoes or tomatoes. Kind of ironic. So this one is for the adults. And I kind of push it down on the sides like that. So when I put the sauce on there, it'll just kind of go down. And it'll kind of pull away from the pan a little bit, and I'll be able to just kind of lift it up like this and kind of pour out some of the oils and stuff that that form down at the bottom of the pan from the meat. Kids will like these little heart-shaped meatloaf.
And she'll probably look at it. Oh, the little shapes.
Put a little bit more on that one. And so I'm making just enough meatloaf tonight for tonight's dinner. This recipe is also really easy to cut in half, cut in fourths. So if you're just feeding one person, yeah, just cut it in half. And again, I will put all the recipe and everything down below, so you'll have the measurements. So I have gone as far as doubling this, quadrupled it for the family because they wanted like leftover meatloaf for meatloaf sandwiches. I love leftover meatloaf. I mean, it's one of my favorites. And that's all you do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in the oven on 350 degrees. It'll go for about 45 minutes. And then I'm going to make a sauce and I'm going to put it over the top and we're going to put it back in the oven for about 15 minutes or so and let the sauce get in on them and stuff. So, okay, this is the meatloaf. I just pulled it out of the oven. This is before I put the sauce on it. And see how I made little tiny heart-shaped meatloaves for the kids. I just made 4 of them. There's 4 kids, so I just made 4 of them. And then the big meatloaf for the adults. So here's the sauce that I'm going to put on top. And the sauce is a half a cup of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And you mix it up, and you just put it over the top, and then you put it back in the oven for about 20 minutes. That's all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to lather it. Now, I will say I do make a double batch of this stuff, only because some people like extra sauce on their meatloaf. I know I do. Especially if there's leftovers. I like to have that extra sauce for when I heat it up the next day. So just lather it on the little meatloaves. And then I'm going to put this back in the oven, and I'm going to get my mashed potatoes going. I'm going to put mashed potatoes, green beans, and I'm going to have some gravy, regular gravy, beef flavored gravy with this as well. I didn't make a whole lot today. Normally I make a huge batch of meatloaf because people like leftovers. But I didn't do that today. Normally I do, but I just made just enough for everybody to have dinner tonight. They'll probably be hungry in an hour, but you know, it is what it is. The stores yesterday was a madhouse. We live in North Dallas, and we're not used to having snowstorms or anything like that, and really cold weather, and it's supposed to get down to like 1 degrees. And we got snow today, which is definitely not the normal for us. So see, it's nice and lathered. This will cook up nicely and get nice and thick, and there'll be extra on the pan so people can scoop that up and just put it right on their meat. Okay, I just took the meatloaf out of the oven. This is what it looks like when it's all done. It's got all the extra juices around it for people that want extra juices. And then I'm going to show you real quick how I just serve it up. But I'm going to show you with the heart-shaped meatloaf here. I got those all ready for the kids already. So I just put meatloaf, mashed potatoes, gravy, and green beans on there, and that's their dinner. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I hope you try the recipe out. I'll have it down below.
Yum.